Scoopy Radio, round 2. Here with Jim Jones, here at the IFC, here in the Bronx. Brother, tell us about the IFC.
The IFC is the Intellectual Factory of Content. Started with the Influencer Club. Found myself in a great position. Fully vested into the building. I just been blessed with. Now you could be building a multi-purpose content creation center for music and media and broadcast on all levels. Anything that you desire to do, if it has entertainment, you could do it here. We also have tourist destinations like sports bars, gyms, there's a bunch of stuff that we're building on here. I'm building my own little city inside of the city, you could say, per se.
You're recording stuff. You're bringing all type of special guests. The sky's the limit here. What has the reception been from your peers? Because you've taped your podcast here. You've done a few episodes, Fivio to Fabulous to Mano and more. What's the reception been from your peers?
I've been getting a great reception. Everybody's been very supportive of this new business that I'm embarking on. People kind of see the vision. It's definitely something that's definitely needed in the city and in the climate of how the entertainment industry is moving. I feel like I'm got my hands on the next thing as far as content creation spaces is concerned.
It's all part of your lineage.
Yeah, definitely that.
You as a rapper, you and I have talked about this in the past. You see a lot of retired players going into the hosting space. What vantage point do you have as the 6'8" point guard be able to lead that conversation?
Oh, shit. I have all the vantage points, I would say, I guess, from the experience I have in the game to still be a player in the game, also a coach in the game, also an owner in the game. It's a great accomplishment for me to be in that position, especially where we at right now with things.
Jim, I've always felt that hip-hop is like wrestling.
Okay. It is in a lot of ways. I mean, it could be all type of wrestling, but yeah, for the most part, it's definitely gives off wrestling.
Nas made a song called "If I Ruled the World." If you ruled the world for the day,
for the day,
what WWE character would you be in hip hop?
If I ruled the world for the day, what's the dude that owned it?
Vince McMahon?
Yeah, I'll be him.
Why?
He did it all. He was the owner. He was a wrestler. He played the game, and he molded the game.
What was your point of entry in wrestling?
My point of entry in wrestling?
Yeah.
I came in the building through the back door and grabbed the janitor position.
Okay.
And then gradually learned everything that the building had to offer inside the wrestling arena.
No, but I'm serious. Like, when you grew up watching, for me, I grew up liking Mike. When you grew up watching wrestling, who were some of the characters you enjoyed watching?
Hogan.
Okay.
Like Coco Beware, Ricky Steamboat, like Andre the Giant, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the British dudes that used to do the full package. You had Greg the Hitman Hart. You had his girlfriend, right? She used to be hitting niggas.
Victoria Hart, yeah.
Then you had Jimmy Superfly Snicker. Then you had the dude from The Sheik, the Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik, rest in peace.
There's so many.
Who in hip-hop today is the equivalent of The Rock?
Of The Rock?
Yeah.
In hip-hop, the equivalent of The Rock?
Currently.
Like what? In what capacity?
Well, I mean, when you look at The Rock, you have experience in the ring. You have the fact that he's transitioned into acting. You have the fact that he went and bought back his name after Vince McMahon, because he would trademark all those people's names. And then also he went into pop culture in the sense that he did movies with Kevin Hart. He did just a lot of movies. He did the Fast and Furious movie. He did a lot of movies.
So like, who did that? Who would be The Rock?
I know who I think.
Who would be that?
Will Smith.
Definitely that. He was a Rock before The Rock.
Yeah, he was.
Definitely that.
He was. Tell me something. In the space that you're in with IFC and with music and more, is there something in the space that you have aspirations of being or doing that you have not even tapped into yet?
There's a lot of things that I haven't tapped into yet. I believe that the journey that I'm embarking on for my experiences will lead me to just that. I got to finish this mission that I'm on now, and by me finishing the mission, I had to open my eyes up to let me know what's next.
Michael Jordan, I've asked a lot of basketball players this, and even football players, making a transition from basketball to baseball and then back into basketball when he came back again the second time was like a huge transition. Like, some have said that it was easier for him to go from basketball to baseball than it was to go from baseball to basketball. For you, when you were acting, did you find that it was hard as it related more so on the reality TV show side, that you had to kind of switch lanes back and forth between being a rapper then to a reality person, or was there another transition in your career that was harder?
I don't consider none of this stuff. All this shit is a cakewalk, considering from where we come from and the things that we were up against and the risks that we were taking. So these are not even risks to be put in these positions. So I don't take it as that. You know what I mean? Everybody, you get a little bit of nervousness in anything you do in life, and especially when you know it's important and it could be great. Besides that, and having no hard transitions doing anything, I'm pretty confident in things that I like to do.
I feel like in hip hop, a lot of your peers get pegged. Like, you look at pegged as in, pigeonholed. When you look at Joe Budden, people call him the pump it up rapper. When people look at you, they call you the guy that put out Ballin.
Facts.
Does that bother you?
Why?
Because I think there's more to you than just Ballin.
There is, but 9 times out of 10, the people that telling me I put out Ballin have nothing going for themselves, or never even had the opportunity to know what it is to have a hit like Ballin.
Fair.
That's still ringing right now off in 20 years later. Like, I still get paid to record that, to perform that song.
How did it change your life?
Tremendously. In a lot of ways. It was a gift and a curse. It's been a hell of a blessing. Opened my eyes to what can be. Also, me not being responsible enough to know what I had, kind of fucked it up also. There's a point when you get too hot in this game and you feel like you could do anything. And the game can humble you very quickly and things like that, you know what I mean? So, I take my wins with my losses. I would say that I had way more losses than wins, but my wins have been way bigger than my losses, so.
Yeah, and I know we've talked off air about just how the Ballin remix, you got the credit for the spins with Jay when he said the Joneses can't keep up.
Word.
You're not supposed to count people's pocket, but what does that look like when you get spins and you get credit for that?
Like with the spins and how that works, I mean, it all goes down to royalties and publishing money. It comes back in that matter when you get spins on the radio. The checks come with that. And I had a record that was spinning at #1 on all radio stations, so you can only imagine what it was going. This record was running for like 2 years strong. Had a very long lifespan as far as being hot.
Why does he keep mentioning you in songs?
I don't know. Me and Jay got a great camaraderie and things like that. I do know that I'm one of the very few that you probably could count on half of a hand that he has mentioned in any of his records and things like that. And he has mentioned me multiple times, so I take that as endearment more than anything. I take that as a compliment. It goes to show who I was and how powerful I could be coming up in the game against giants like he was at that time.
Kanye West, when you guys are on the same page, collaborative at your best, you guys are Shaq and Kobe. At your worst, you guys are a team that wins 12 games in a season. Why are you guys so combative but so creative at the same time?
Because we both creative monsters. He understands what I could bring to the table in any creative space. And he's seen it firsthand. But the table got to be always fair, and the table got to be always even. You know what I mean? I love Kanye. Ye is Ye. But he's a very talented person, also a genius when it comes to marketing and commerce and things like that. So I respect his handle for what he has built in the fashion world and the fortune that he's acquired. through his genius.
I saw some post the other day where they said you're a teenage senior citizen or something like
a senior citizen.
What the hell is that?
I mean, I guess that's me. I'm not mad at none of these young jokes and things like that. I'd rather be called young than old.
It's interesting because I feel like in hip hop, for example, people put a time limit on your level of great, reaching your zenith or whatever, but in rock, they live forever. I even remember on the TV show Full House, Uncle Jesse was in the basement performing with his crew forever. Why is hip-hop like the only place where people put a limit on it?
I believe because the music was so young at one time, and the stigma sticks from back when it was young. It still was 20 and 30 years old when we first started, so naturally the crowd that listened to music was a young crowd. But we 50-something years in, so the music has grown, and we got to make space for everybody that has grown with the music, is what people don't understand. Rock and roll been around for a long time, same as R&B and things like that, so it's a little bit different with those genres of music. Hip-hop is an edgy genre of music. We paint it to be a young thing, but it's not so young. It looks young. There are a lot of young artists, but most of the successful artists got some age on them.
This is true.
You know what I mean? So it depends on how you paint it. There's a lot of artists that are older than me and don't get pegged like I get pegged. Pause. As far as
yes,
senior citizens and all this old nigga, that old nigga. You know what I mean? So I take it all with a grain of salt. It means nothing to me. You know
who non-hip hop do you enjoy listening to?
Who non-hip hop?
Yes.
I enjoy listening to just good music. I don't really got no favorites. When they playing good R&B music, I like when I go to parties at SNS is DJing, because I know it take me back into my younger days, my teenage days. I know he always got the soundtrack to when we was growing up in Harlem.
You, to me, are a wealth of knowledge for a ton of reasons. Because you are a Harlem and Bronx hybrid, you have the uptown best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. In basketball, they often talk about a Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. Can you give me a Bronx Mount Rushmore and a Harlem Mount Rushmore?
Here we go. People going to kill me all these Bronx Mount Rushmore and Harlem Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, two separate things.
That's crazy. Like for music?
Yes.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, let me rephrase it, because we are taping pretty late. If you can mix entertainment and music together, can you give me a Bronx Mount Rushmore and can you give me a Harlem Mount Rushmore? So in Harlem, I'm honestly thinking of Big L.
Yeah, Big L definitely would have to be up on the Harlem Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. I would put Diplomats as a whole.
Okay.
On the Harlem Mount Rushmore. We would take up one slot.
Okay.
I would say Diddy, but Diddy's a hybrid like me.
Mm-hmm. Mount Vernon in Harlem.
Mount Vernon in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Riley.
Okay, definitely. So that's Harlem. So you got Big L, Diplomats, Teddy Riley, and Diddy on the Harlem side. Now you got the Bronx side.
Definitely KRS One.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Joe.
Okay.
J-Lo.
Okay, ooh. So you got KRS-One, Jennifer Lopez, Fat Joe, and we need one more.
You can get back to it. It'll come.
Okay, fair enough. I think that where we are in hip hop right now, you got a lot of OGs who are still relevant. You also have a bunch of YNs that are making their way.
100%. Pretty good too.
Who are some of the young people that you pay attention to that you think deserve more flowers?
That I think deserve, man. That's, you don't put me on the spot like that. Ball Greasy from Miami. Mm-hmm. I enjoy him very much. And I believe he deserves a lot more flowers. A lot of people now might not be familiar with him, but he's done tremendous for himself in this last 10 years. From not only his music, but he's wrote so many hits. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For so many artists. I mean, And in Miami, he has helped shape the sound for like the last 20 years, damn near, and shit. Like
Oh, yeah.
that, you know what I mean? He stay up the current. As you can see, he got platinum plaques on his wall for some of the biggest hits and things like that. That's one of the artists that I truly enjoy, and I know that I would love to watch him get the flowers he deserves, especially coming from Miami and things like that. There's a few others and things like that that come to me, but when you say that coming to mind, I always say that about him, because he's super, super duper talented and things like that. You know what I mean? It's not too many artists that I see can do music at his capacity.
Jim, have you or Prodigy ever been mistaken for each other
All the time.
in public? God rest his soul.
All the time.
Funniest moment where that has happened?
I mean, I can't remember a moment, but some of the funny moments when me and him be in the same room together, it's like, oh, we finally see y'all together.
That is kind of funny.
As a Prodigy, man, or one of the true hip-hop legends in this game, would truly be missed. Put on for us in so many ways, one of the real groundbreaking MCs and hip-hop legends, like what Mobb Deep did for the game. It can't be replaced. It came in a pivotal time for a generation like us when we were younger. You do it all. Like, the era was a very grimy, grungy,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, era, and they kind of was shining through from a young age and things like that. Like, you know what I mean, and they had their own wave, undeniably, and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's where we got that thumb music from. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, they definitely put on, so we gonna definitely miss Prodigy. One of my favorite MCs also, favorite groups also.
Yeah.
We don't mention them too much when the group conversation comes around. I'm glad I bring it up right now, because they definitely one of the top tier groups in hip hop history.
I feel like Wu-Tang and Dipset as a whole, the Diplomats as a whole, are universally respected as carrying New York. But I think that Mobb Deep is definitely an underdog in that same vein.
100%. Mobb Deep a bit before us as far as coming out, you know what I mean? So they paved the way for us as a group also. I mean, opened a lot of doors. I mean,
Jim, I grew up a fan of the 90s Bulls, the same way that I grew up a fan of Rockefeller. And I was very upset when The Last Dance revealed why the Bulls broke up, the same way that when I look at Rockefeller, I looked at you guys as a Bulls dynasty. I know that there's a lot of fairy tales as to why that happened. From your perspective, was it more of a business discrepancy or more of a personality discrepancy?
I believe it was more of a business discrepancy. I don't think that they was making too much money to be that catty if it was over something personal. And they was very personal people, you know what I mean? So I do believe that.
No, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
If you could go back in time in your career, would you put out more solo albums, more Diplomat albums, or spend more time being around Rockefeller and elevating your brand?
More Diplomat albums.
Okay. So are we talking time period like early 2000s or later 2010s?
Early 2000s.
Okay. Yeah, that was such a pivotal time.
When we had the torch.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things going on in between us that started early in Diplomat days, and a lot of things, a lot of variables and things like that. But I'd love to make some more Diplomat albums. We definitely could have shook the world up. We didn't need nobody. We just needed us.
If you could go back in time, do you think that Wu-Tang against the Diplomats and Versus was more of a match than Dipset?
No, two different eras.
Okay. That's interesting, because when I look at Versus, I've seen mishmash of different guys from different eras work. I feel like when I look at Rough Riders, I feel like they fit more against state property. When I look at you guys as a collective with Dipset, I've always looked at New York wave. Staten Island had a wave that people weren't familiar with, and I feel like Harlem had its own wave. But you say that eras are
I mean, that's what I would say, but if you look at it from a competitive standpoint or a camaraderie standpoint, then yeah, the Wu-Tang thing would have worked in camaraderie standpoint. Competitive standpoint, I think the Locks was perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we much less paying homage to Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
As opposed to like It's game time, man. You know what I mean? Because we don't really have the banter with them like we have with the Locks, because they are a bit older than us and the generation right before us and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I do. To me, it kind of reminds me of early Kobe watching Mike, asking questions, but at the same time, running your own race. And when I look at the Locks and I look at State Property, same era, same grungy stuff, same Carhartt mentality, but I feel like you guys was more paying homage, as you mentioned, and having your own wave and it being a lasting legacy. Mm-hmm. 2 more questions. Nas was the troll of the year, and
Yes.
and I think in the world of aggregation, people take what you say and they move it, but you were only responding to what somebody said.
Fact.
If you could have phrased it differently, how would you have phrased it differently?
I wouldn't have. I would have phrased it differently. I said what I said. I say everything with intention.
5, I'll even go 3. If you could name 3 non-songs that you've enjoyed past or present, what would they be?
If I Rule the World, New York State of Mind, and the joints when he was talking about Jerome's niece got shot in the dome piece on the way from Jones Beach. Yo, no.
Last question. Recently, it was reported that Cameron will be collaborating with 50 Cent on Paid in Full. You and 50 are competitors. What would you expect to see with a Cameron and 50 Cent collaboration?
I don't know what to expect to see from them 2 suckers. I wouldn't care what to expect to see from them. I wish them the best. Just stay out my way, please.
That's all.
That's it.
Brother, thank you as always for your time. Appreciate you.